Now, we chatted about training centres, we chatted about vets fees, we chatted about all types of things with Louis, but we're going to talk about trainers' associations. Now, this is one of those things that's, no, we're not on the NHRA, we're on the National Trainers Associations, so let's get that scrapping off there. Okay, trainers' associations are something that I've been involved with from probably the beginning of my career, so I think I can talk about them. You're telling me that they're going to make a National Trainers Association, or you have a National Trainers Association? Tell us a bit more.
James,
no one knows about it.
No, look, it's just been registered now. It's very, very necessary. It's very new. Thank heavens again for Tony Riveland. You know, Tony can drive things, and admin-wise, he's just fantastic. He drives things, and you needed someone to take leadership there for the whole country. And what will happen is, I think, I can't talk, I think you should get Tony on the show as to exactly how the association is going to run. I would just tell you that as a trainer, I think you'd be crazy not to join it. And as a trainer, I think we desperately need that. You asked, we spoke about veterinary costs. It's something for National Trainers Association to handle. There's many issues that a National Trainers Association can handle with representation throughout the country. Look, there's only one properly registered association in South Africa of trainers. It's the KZN Trainers Association. The national one will bring in trainers, and it's not run by KZN. Tony just did all the admin.
Trainers and all that. You were part of that bunch. What happened?
Yeah, but that was deregistered many years ago. But I ran the VOL. I was the VOL chairman for 17 years, or minus 2.5. But that, no, there was nothing official. You know, we were regarded more as a forum rather than as a properly registered, a duly registered association. The only one in South Africa is in KZN, but the national one, we're talking national trainers, where trainers from every single region are voted on, and obviously they'll have a steering committee to get going, and then they'll put the ballot out, and then the trainers will vote the right people on.
You know? Do the trainers need an association?
Oh, most definitely, James. Many of the topics, the hot topics, whether it's handicapping, whether it's programming, whether it's the vet bills, whether it's NHRA rules, we have to have a national body. It will be respected because that national body then represents everybody in South Africa, not just Cape Town, or not just Johannesburg, or not just Durban.
Do trainers abide by rules and regulations set out by trainers' associations? You've had a lot of feedback on this type of thing, so that question you should be able to answer.
Trainers generally do. I think they generally do, and they pull together. It's just about the leadership. If you lead them well, and you keep the guys informed, and they're part of a process, they stand together. Well, we certainly found that the VOL was unbelievable. The guys stood together. You get your quieter guys, say, listen, I'm not in the forefront, I'm not speaking, but I'm with you. Then you get the noisy guys, but once you get everybody together, and you stand together, the sky's the limit. And not in terms of achieving or filling your own back pocket, just in achieving the right things for racing. Remember that the person who speaks the most to the owners is the trainer. And I say this with the greatest of respect. The one other thing we've got right in Gold Circle, we're not spending 14 million rand a year on an owners association, which there's always arguments as what it does for owners. So it's trainers. We would contribute, I think, something from each winner. So you never take your hand and you put your hand in your pocket. You don't miss 100 rand a winner from your share of the stakes, and you've got a properly constituted national association. But as I say, you know, Tony and Laf. They will definitely be our Durban representatives. It would be silly if anybody else tried because of their experience and how good they are. But I think Tony would be able to tell you more about the actual nitty-gritty of the association. I'm just talking about the value of the association.
Well, I'm interested in it because you obviously, as a trainer, feel that an association is going to be beneficial. Do you think that association would be able to address some of the anomalies we have in racing, like handicapping that you brought up, veterinary fees? Do you think that have any effect?
Yes.
And why haven't they had an effect in the past? We got Trainers Association, KZN. Those things just keep on going.
Because you are regional. The minute you've got the full backing, when we have a problem in KZN, but our whole national committee are backing us. Likewise, when they've got a problem in Gauteng, and the whole national trainers committee are backing them, they've got more chance of getting anything right than standing as a region on your own.
Okay. You ran racing. What would you do to change the things that you don't like? What do you think needs to be changed in racing in South Africa?
take everybody for a bunny chow at Hollywood. I've been doing it for years and years since I've been coming down here. Love the concept. Love the fact that eventually, we've now learned that it's an inclusive game. Over the years, you haven't seen Bob Urim stop sponsoring racing because it's an opposition from Empress Palace. I think what we need is more inclusiveness in racing. I think to have, with all due respect to the RA, I don't know if that body works. We don't have one here. But I say we need a national programmer. We need a national handicapper. You know, there must be. We can put it into national things. We can run the whole industry as well.
You can't have that, Lou. You've got two different companies that run racing.
No. We're talking about programming.
Okay.
We're talking about. There's so many things we could do together that we don't talk to each other.
But who does the programming? I thought the NRB did the programming, which was a coalition between both racing entities.
Yeah, NRB do the program, but remember Tony, as our Trainers Association, he will always do the backbone of the program. And that's very important that a trainer's doing it, that he looks at what our needs are, etc., and then it goes through NRB. I'm not sure who does it up in Gauteng. But it's things like that, and it's also it's about retaining marketing drives. It's about what we do together for owners, because we don't need an owners association. What we need is people who really care about the owners. And I'm not saying the associations don't, but I'm saying we need people who focused on owners to retain our owners. Now, I'm not going against punters. I'm saying because the owners pay the training fees.
Okay, if you look at what owners say, if you just think of the gripes that owners have. The first gripe that they have is trainers don't communicate enough, okay? Is that valid?
In some instances, yes. I think you've got different types of owners. You've got an owner that doesn't want to be bothered. Just let me know when the horse is running and do what you must do. Other owner wants to almost hear daily how his horse is doing. So there are different needs. And then that owner likes to hear more often. Might not be happy with trainer X, but he'll be happy with trainer Y and vice versa. Not an easy one. Not an easy one to solve.
Okay. Next thing, veterinary fees, obviously.
Big, huge,
They hate
huge,
the veterinary
huge.
fees. I mean, I know owners who really are very anti because of what the vets charge. Could the national trainers body do something to help that?
Well, let me tell you something. You know the big horse Haddington?
Yeah.
We retired him, and he got a post home. He went to Eric and Evelyn Joel. You know, they've been with me. They're my longest standing owners. Yeah. He got colic over there. He went to the vets in Joburg. He'd been there a few weeks, and he didn't get no operation, and came back, and the bill was just under 100,000 rand. Now, James, that's for a riding horse. But that, yes, it comes up all the time from the owners, vet bills.
Okay. Training fees? How do you address training fees where everyone's getting a proper living training fee? Because there are a lot of people out there, as you know, trainers that do not charge enough to train a horse. And it affects the way they run their business.
Yeah, I think that again should be an association role, but it was discussed at our AGM, and I'm not the chairman, Laffy's. I can tell you what we didn't get anything, but we did speak about it, and guys are aware that they can charge what they want to. Nobody can tell them what to charge, but keep the standards right. In KZN, we want to keep the standards high.
Okay, well, it looks like you got pretty well sussed out when you start this association. Get it going. Should be fun. We'll look forward to hearing.
I think the biggest thing, though, the National Trainers Association, I've got nothing to do with starting it. I'm just a messenger that I'm excited that it's happening. So I'm not stealing anybody's thunder here. I'm just one of the members. But what's lovely is that there's a lot that NHRA and that association will be talking about.
Well, we're going to be talking about the NHRA in our next segment, so I'll see you tomorrow for that.